Tell me specifically, do you do programming for any of the verticals? Do you do programming for anybody?
Am I programming for individuals?
Just for anybody. Who do you program for? Who do you like? Is there someone who's training under your
Yeah.
direct
Yeah. Multiple,
movement patterns, whatever you want to call
yeah,
trading?
multiple people. Yeah. 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 Go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
You
you
want
go
me
ahead.
to name names?
Oh yeah, sure. And
Oh,
what is? Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out exactly who you're hands on with. Because here's what in my head, I'm still have you pigeonholed. Is that basically this is the story I'm telling myself. There's people like Haley Adams who were there who weren't getting hands-on coaching, who wanted hands-on coaching, and that you came there to fulfill that role. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but that's in my head. That's what I have going on.
yeah.
So I'm like thinking to myself. Do you want to jump in here, Lockhart? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's true in a sense. I mean, it was a great time in Foster's Park because it was something we were going to need in the future and like natural fit as we were beginning to need it. But last April or May, like March, when we were like getting serious about it, I was like, all right, you're going to coach Seth Stoke. And maybe it was earlier.
That's the long-haired dude, right?
The kid. Yeah. This
yeah.
dude's.
I think that was January. It was like right out the gate.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the year. That's right. Because like Seth would respond well to this. I know he's going to be super fit either way. You can get him even fitter and kind of like, this was Foster's like test run with an athlete. And so Foster went all in with Seth and like every workout's dialed in, like as a specific reason and each training block, month, all that leading up to semifinal. And so he built Seth's trust and was like, okay, Foster knows what he's doing. It was proof in the pudding. And then from there, I knew Foster and along with other coaches we wanted to bring on, I would need him and others to coach games, individual athletes that would want to coach and kind of the direction we're going. So then he coached Seth through semifinals. And then after the games, I had some athletes I thought he might want to coach, and Foster can hop in whenever. But I think the next one was Guy, right?
Yeah, Guy actually reached out. Guy reached out to me about getting coaching. And then, we started working together right after the games this year.
Bear, let me stop you here. What's that look like? Two things specifically. What's that look like when he reaches out to you? And is there a chain of command? Is he supposed to reach out to you?
Actually, I was like, Foster would be a great coach for Guy. I was thinking this in August after.
Like between your ears, you were thinking that. Yeah,
I thought in my ears. I think I mentioned it to Rich and maybe Foster and Guy. We were going to touch base in August because he didn't make the games. And I was like, hey, you want, like, we texted like, hey, let's meet up at the gym. And he was actually bringing up to me, hey, I want Foster coaching this season. I was like, great.
Wow.
Foster should be your coach this season.
What did Guy see that made him want Foster? What do you think he saw? Or what did he need and saw that connected?
I think that's what, if you're here, you'd see it. Foster, I'll brag on him. He does a great job of like truly going all in with his athletes. And that's what we want. Like he'll meet with them every time he's here. He's here once a week. He's communicating through the week and he explains to them, hey, this next 8 weeks, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. It's like, we test your deadlift. Your deadlift is 40 pounds under the field average. So we got to work on that. And this is how many times it could be in there. And so when athletes see that, it creates a ton of buy-in because they know like every day is going to make them better towards getting the games or winning the games. And so I think Guy had seen that. And then like, he's just going to connect on a personal level as a friend with Foster as well. So that helps too. So, and Foster's for sure done that with him. Guy, yeah.
So literally, Seth would be working. He'd be with Seth, and Guy would be in the gym, so Guy could keep that relationship.
What do you mean?
Like he could see that relationship.
Yeah.
So at some point, he's like, "Fuck, I think maybe I might want some of that. I might want a relationship like that."
Yeah, well, I asked Guy early on, and then I think he said it on your podcast too. Is like Guy and I didn't interact a lot. Guy was kind of like in the corner, doing his own thing a good bit when I was around for the first several months. So there weren't a ton of interactions. I think we had one, more personal interaction, like talking about some of the story that he shared on your podcast. I think it was 4th of July. And, we just had like a kind of a little mini heart to heart. But honestly, when he reached out, I was a little surprised because I was like, I haven't really, there's not like this connection that I had with Guy prior to that, like where we had talked a lot. So
is he allowed to do that? Is there a pecking order? Is there not a pecking order? Is there a chain of command? Is there like people allowed? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Guy could reach out to me anytime for sure.
Yeah.
I think Guy wanted to check with me because it seemed like the best thing to do. And he's probably asking my advice. That's what he'd say. He's like, hey, I think he's praying about it a lot. He talked to his wife about it. Oh, his wife Lou also like had a good feeling about Foster. Foster just talked to her one day for a few minutes. Foster maybe.
Yeah.
So my wife checks off on it. That makes it obviously more attractive. So, but yeah, I mean, he could have reached out straight to Foster, but I think typically athletes would probably ask me just because I'm over Mayhem athlete, and it's not like they have to, but it just makes sense in that order to kind of.
And I'm the new guy still too at the time, you know, and I still am. You know, there's more trust now, but at the time, especially, it's like, well, hey, you know, I've had great interactions with this guy or whatever, but Lockhart's, I mean, you know, they're all going to confide in him.
Let me go back to Seth Stovall. So just to understand this, so they're like, hey, you're going to coach Seth Stoke, and then what exactly do? You meet with him once a week? Do you do his programming? You watch his numbers? You study him as an athlete, and you're kind of like, you know, like I picture like a Dungeons and Dragons character. You're trying to move his numbers up.
You know, it's the same thing I did for years prior to Mayhem, and it's the same thing I was doing with Underdogs athletes, and it's the same thing we're doing now with Mayhem performance coaching. Like, in the sense that, I mean, the way that I like morning chalk up at the games, they were like, give me like a one-liner for Mayhem performance coaching. I'm like, man, I haven't really thought of that. But I basically described it as holistic coaching for the sport of CrossFit. So, you know, more.
Oh, here, I got one for you. Ask me that question. Describe.
Yeah. Elevator pitch me Mayhem performance coaching.
Unvaccinated.
Yeah, that's true. That is true too, for me, at least. Yeah.
Sorry, I just couldn't resist. Sorry. It was because of who was asking too. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah. Okay. So but it's what you said. It's training, nutrition, and, you know, I always say lifestyle coaching too as well, which is, you know, recovery. How's Seth managing his stress? Like, what are all the things that are occurring also outside the gym, like in his mind, external circumstances and factors that are going to impact his training?
If the temperature he keeps the van at.
No, I'm not that crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a balance. Like, I think you can get too in the weeds with some of that stuff, and then actually create like a fragile mindset. You know, I think you have to still have a little.
Or how about this? I have super high expectations of my kids, but at the same time, I have to make sure that their shit's accomplishable.
Yeah.
Or else they'll put a gap between me and them because they want to please me. So if you tell him like, hey, you can never have a drink for all 365 days, then he has to decide whether he's going to lie to you or let you down. And like, I don't want to set my kids up for that. I want to set the bar high.
Yeah.
But not so high that they have to lie to me or, you know what I mean? Or make their life miserable. Like, I'm trying to figure out the best way. Everyone wants to be manipulated you're a manipulation coach.
Yeah.
It's kind of bought into like, hey, manipulate me to be a better person.
Yeah. It's kind of a dance, right? Like, I don't have that fully figured out. And you got to be a bit of a chameleon too, right? Like, understanding, you know, each client, what makes them tick, how you can communicate with them effectively. And that's an area of opportunity that I still have a lot, because I played college football. Like, I was a jock, and I responded best to just like, shut the F up, let's go.
Yeah.
That was my style. And I've had to learn a lot over the years. And honestly, what helped me the most was working at a local gym and not coaching athletes. Like, my background was not with you know, primarily with athletes. It was, you know, teaching middle schoolers and then coaching, you know, just Gen Pop clients who just wanted to lose weight and be healthy and, you know, live long and prosper. So that taught me a lot about empathy, and, you know, that prepared me, I think, to, you know, to be a more effective coach with these games athletes, because, you know, it really boils down to mindset. Like, I think that's the biggest differentiator with a lot of these athletes. They're all gifted. They're all talented. They're all freakishly fit. Some of them you know, they all have holes in their game, but at the end of the day, it's like, belief and mindset around winning is what I think now is the biggest differentiator.
How many people have your phone? How many athletes can text you directly?
That's a great question. I almost
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I honestly try to get most of my athletes to, I use a different software, Telegram.
Oh, what's he doing, Lockhart? He's doing a dance right now. What's he doing?
No, yeah, there's a couple athletes that text.
What's he doing?
There's a couple athletes that text me directly.
How can you have more than 8? I don't want anyone to, too many people text me now. I'm pretty fucking like already like private, like meaning I don't give people access to me outside of the show, and it's already like too many. Like,
Yeah,
I just want to talk to Matt Souza, and that's it. Like, everyone else, leave me alone. You got something to say, tell Matt, and he'll tell me.
I'll throw Foster on the bus on this one. Foster, if we had a pre-league performance review, probably one of the only negative thing would be reply to text. We went through his text messages at the games. Savon, he's one of those that has like 50 blue messages on his phone.
Yeah.
And one of them was Rich. I was like, bro.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Wait, so what did you get an audit on his phone? You're like, put your hands up in the air and hand me your phone. And you did an audit on his phone?
I was doing what you said, man. I was trying to just, be like, hey, I'll text you back when I feel like it. No, I'm just kidding. It gets bad. So I'm a hyper organized guy. I'm great with checking email every day. I use a different software for messages with most of my clients, and I'm really good with those systems. And then my phone, I just get I have 100. I just looked. I have 102 texts, unread texts right now.
Yeah.
And I just get overwhelmed. And when I get overwhelmed with it, I'm just like, I'll just take it and throw it in the chair, and I just won't pay attention to it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And
That's fair. I'm like,
I need to get better at that. So
you would say Guy, Vic, Paige, Seth, like they can all text you and you'd reply for sure.
Yeah, we text probably at least every.
Who's Vic? Victor Hoffer?
Victoria Campos.
Oh, Victoria Campos.
Yeah.
Oh, she's still making a run at the games? How old is she?
She's 30, 31.
Does
She's our
she
age, blocker. Yeah.
Does she speak good English?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have her on.
She's great.
Yeah, Vic's great.
Vic is the most chill athlete, like just laid back, hang out. She's just easy going. So
I wanted one of my one of the listeners to mate with her and make a kid, but he found out that she doesn't go that way. She is not into dudes. That was a bad guess on my part. But man, she would make a great kid with someone. I guess she still can.
She could.
So you have who are your who has direct access to you? Like you're like.
Yeah, so through the athletes I coach at Mayhem that are games athletes, Seth Stoke, Guy, Paige, Vic, and then Dre Strong.
Oh, Dre, that's right.
That's the camera guy turned athlete.
Savon, you gotta have Dre on here.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, dude, you guys would.
You and Dre.
I was saying that to Dre the other day. Like I was telling him I was coming on here, and like Dre would just be a blast to have.
Dre won the games with Rich, Savon.
I didn't. Maybe I did.
19. He won with Rich, China, Tasia, and.
Is he still Is he still in the media department also?
No, he runs apparel and he's our graphic.
Oh, that's right. I did know that.
He basically grew the Across the Mayhem channel for 5 years until Scott got here. So
this will make you want him on even more. What he told me when I said he should come on was that he probably shouldn't because he would get in trouble.
Oh yeah. I like that. That's good. You know me well. That's good.
Yeah.
Those people you mentioned, Campos, Page, Dre, Guy, and
Vic.
Seth.
Yeah.
Those you have a I don't know a very high level of demand on yourself that you put for them, intimacy, time commitment. Those are like your people.
Yeah, but man, there's still other athletes that I coach, open quarterfinal level athletes that I have just as good of a relationship with, and I talk to just as frequently.
Fuck, I don't know how you do that. I'm trying to wrap my head around how you do your job.
Systems, honestly, like just having great systems in place. And
organized for sure.
There's this conventional wisdom that you shouldn't have ever more than 8 reports, I think.
Yeah.
Like, if you read a business book and it sounds like you have more than 8 reports. Like I can't do more than 6. Shit starts getting really weird. It's like, dude, I have to.
It's kind of like with your wife, right? And your spouse. If you don't commit time with people, if you don't have a scheduled time to date your wife, it's never going to happen. Your communication is going to suffer, Right. And if you just let life hit you, with kids, like it's never going to happen. You're going to be talking at 9:30 at night. And neither of you are going to want to do it. So I think what I'm good at and what I've learned over time from experience, I think teaching had a lot to do with it. It was just, it's disciplining times and putting systems together where it's like, I'm going to check my messages twice a day. I'm going to reach out to these people at least like once every other day. I'm never going to let them go like more than 2 to 3 days without just shooting them a text and be like, how you feeling? What's going on? Right. And then I'm going to have a weekly check-in time with all of them where it's like, this is a formal time that we're going to sit down.
Okay. You are organized. Okay.
It's not the exact same as an employee. I mean, there's some parallels, but like a report to you within an organization as employees a little bit different than the one-on-one coaching client. That makes sense.
Maybe I'm trying to figure that out. Like, so there were like, when I was running the media department, there were specifically 4 people who could just walk into my office anytime. And then other than that, you if you had an issue, you should probably talk to one of those people and not me. Well, then because if you come to me and are like, hey, our cameras are broken, I'm going to be like, hey, go talk to Tyson Oldroyd, and then I'm going to kind of hate you a little bit for coming in and interrupting me for that with that. Like, you stepped out of the chain of command. So I kind of maybe I don't understand it because
20 clients can't come in his office at any time. They got to message him through a portal. He can respond at blocked out times, and then they know every week they get this amount of time with him on this day. So
if you like, I can explain like a just a kind of a normal client through Mayhem Performance Coaching. Like, what is the communication cycle?
Come on, you need to get coached by us, Mayhem Performance Coaching.
Fuck that. I did CrossFit for I went to a CrossFit class and I got fucking injured. That shit's dangerous.
Well, it's personalized to you.
Exactly. It's so dangerous. Intensity is fucking the death of all old men.
We'll just do rope climbs and assault bike.
Yes. Yes. I'm game. I love it.
Yeah, so we do like clients. What they get is it's a 24-hour response rate Monday through Friday from a coach, and then they do a bi-weekly
24-hour response rate, meaning if someone contacts you, you'll respond within 24 hours.
Well, Monday through Friday. Yep.
Okay.
Unless once a quarter, there's once a week that a coach gets a vacation. They got to let their clients know a certain amount of time ahead of time, but the program will always be written. They do a bi-weekly video consult with each client, and then like on the opposite weeks, we have a check-in, like a form that they fill out so that we can check in on everything. Like, again, that holistic approach. So, how much you've been enjoying training, what are your struggles? Like, what are the wins that you've had this week? How's your nutrition been? How's your sleep been? There's even some like kind of social questions in there too about mood and whatnot. So we're getting a good gauge. Like there would never go like bare minimum a week that goes by, whether you're Karen, the soccer mom, like, open level athlete, all the way to like a semifinal level games athlete that you're not going to hear from your coach. Like I had a mentor, shout out Matt Connolly, tell me one time, like, and this was in, Gen Pop clients, he was saying like clients come for results, but they stay for relationship. And that's the business that we're in. We're in the business of building relationships. Like Savon, like in the sport now, there's so many good coaches. Like a lot of people can write great programs, but it's like not everybody can build a good relationship. I think that's the differentiator.
2 things to that. I heard